Kelly and I are I'm gonna bring Kelly on here. We're gonna talk a little bit about just Superman, the voice of Superman, like the importance of the character, but also like who all has voiced Superman. And Kelly, welcome joining us here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be brought on screen for the first time all weekend. I've been feeling like a wallflower, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kelly's been very much a powerhouse behind everything here. And so we're going to kind of just touch on the voice of Superman. Now, I think it's awesome that there are so many wonderful, amazing, talented people who have done the character. I'm going to try to throw a link up here for a voice that's a video that's on YouTube. It's long. It's like 40 minutes, so you don't have to watch it right now. But it has a great scope of every little detail of Superman. And what we're going to focus on in this discussion is what I call the majors. Okay.
Yes.
The ones that have done and probably have put their pen staple on it the most, that I feel that the sounds resonate afterwards. And are we able to bring this on screen?
Okay.
I know we are putting this together. We had this epiphany like just the other day, and I was like, we could talk about this because we have two Superman voice actors, as well as we had, Tudyk, who did Batman, and I was like, why didn't we think of this sooner?
Yeah, because we didn't think of it sooner because we didn't know we had time to fill.
We're like,
let me see if I can pull this up and do some screen sharing. Don't mind me. Well,
while Kelly's figuring this out, I'll just keep talking because that's what I'm good at.
I love you for that.
The original voice of Superman was on the radio, and that was Bud Collyer. And Bud Collyer, and there's a great story that many people don't know. Do you know why kryptonite was invented, Kelly?
Yes, because of the radio show.
Because Bud Collyer wanted a vacation, and they had to think of something to weaken Superman, and kryptonite came to be, and basically they had a stand-in just basically grunt and groan for multiple episodes. And that is how we got kryptonite.
That is just the most hilarious thing. And now it's part of it.
And now it's so wrapped in the tapestry of the character that you can't do anything without it. And in this picture right here that we have up now is a still from the video link that I shared. And you'll see Jason there. He's clean shaven though, right above Nick Cage, right below
yes.
Tom there. And Bud is up there in the top. And
I just want to interject with something that Charlie said in the panel that opened yesterday, that every single person who plays Superman, I know some people are like, well, this person doesn't count or this person sucks, but every single person that plays Superman, as far as I'm concerned, is Superman, and they all kind of put their mark on the character. And so all Supermen are beautiful.
I mean, I agree. Like I had said, was I feel bad because, in this modern era, we have a lot of going on. And I feel like Jason, he got left out and was kind of the forgotten voice, of Superman. And, we have all these animated movies that come and go. And some people just get, kind of get forgotten. And
a lot of people don't even look at who the voice actors are because there are so many animated movies. But I'm always fascinated by who the voice actors are.
So in our file here, if you'll scroll down just a little bit, we'll bring up Bud. Bud most notably was the radio show, but also did the Max Fleischer cartoons, which are some of the most beautiful cartoons and artwork of Superman ever captured.
Absolutely.
We covered those recently, and then we're in the majors. So here's Tim, which is a lot of people when they think of the voice of Superman, I think Tim is kind of where they go. Or our next one, and we'll talk about that, which is George. And I mean, the resumes on these two are impressive because not only did they voice, Tim for the Superman the Animated Series, but George for the Justice League Animated Series. But they also went back and forth because at that time we had the video games, we had the projects of the animated film division of DC was just starting. So you had a lot of them coming and going back and forth in there, and it gave them the opportunity to voice the character in multiple ways instead of just the one series.
Yeah, for sure. And are you excited to talk to George later?
Yes, I am.
Me too. So excited.
Kristen,
I'm going to give Kristen a shout out because she's not getting a praise because she hasn't been able to be on screen this weekend due to internet issues. But Kristen just did amazing with our guest list and all the things she's done behind the scenes. Okay, we could go on.
No, thank you, Kristen. I was going to say that's why it's impressive to just look at here this, George's resume, and I look forward to talking about that because in my recent research, just reviews as I was preparing was the thought of just
wow.
And I'll save the comments for later, but just George's resume is very very strong for Superman.
Yes.
And then like right here, Nolan North is I don't think he gets the attention for Superman he deserves because when I think of him at first, I thought of Superboy, from Young Justice, but he also does Superman. And then he's done pretty much all of the Lego direct-to-video Superman.
I did not know that. I actually don't think I've heard his name. And Nolan, if you're out there, which you're probably not listening, but I'm sorry because he does a good job.
Yeah, he does. And, like I said, he was brought to my attention first when watching Young Justice because we like to watch Young Justice because it's the first 2 seasons are amazing. And it's one of the few shows that has Superboy because one of the hardest things that I get is I have my daughter who wants to watch Supergirl and my son who wants to watch Superboy, and there is no cartoon of them together. Okay? You know how hard that is? So I have to bounce around between the two, and Young Justice is always a good default for Superboy. But he has a very distinctive... Everyone who's voiced Superman has a distinctive tone, a distinctive part, but at the same time, you still hear the character. There's something...
Yes.
What's the word? I don't want to say...
Super.
There's just elemental almost inside of like just you hear something and you can say, yeah, that sounds like Superman.
It's that thing where you hear it and you automatically just put your trust in that person.
It's the sound, and I'm gonna kind of paraphrase something that was shared on Twitter earlier from Christopher Reeve. Was one of the elements of Superman that's forgotten is he's a friend. And it's that voice of a friend, that comforting sound of someone that when you hear them talk, you feel better, like your guard is down and you feel comfort. Now, if we go down and we start looking at the TV series, that came, we have Danny Dark, who is most famous for doing the Super Friends and the Super Power series. And he has that voice that you're like, oh, I don't know that, but it's a very radio personality styled voice. When you listen, like an announcer, like you're almost like, oh, like it's like this is Superman reporting in, kind of like sound,
which is perfect for a reporter.
Yeah, And I mean, at that time, was it the late 70s where they tried to make Clark? I don't remember if it was the 70s or the early 80s where they tried to make him the TV reporter
Oh
for a little.
yes, right around that time.
I was just going to say to Kristen, yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah, I can't.
I bet we all can agree to that at some point in time. Now the Ruby Spears series with Bo Weaver, that was one of the series that I never remembered being on or a part of or seeing, and I kept seeing the discs, but I didn't realize they were something different because,
Right.
Yes, TV was way too glamorous for Clark. He doesn't need his face out there. He just he needs to
Right.
be behind the
Especially
word.
because eventually someone's gonna go, wait a minute.
But eventually, this series I bought. It was real cheap one time on iTunes, and I bought and started watching it because I had bought before in the past where you end up rebuying stuff because they package it different with different art, and then when you watch, you're like, wait a minute, I already have this. So I was hesitant for the longest time to buy this until I actually understood that it was something completely different. No, this one is one of those voices that it works, and I think with the series in itself with Batman the Brave and the Bold, that some voices you really like, some you might not like as much. And his was decent. I mean, it worked for that show. I don't know if I could see it translate
Right.
to other areas or not. And then
Makes sense.
And then, of course, right there, our good friend Jason.
Who we just heard from.
Yep. And his voice to me is classic. Now, I just put Jack in here for anyone who maybe have not put it together to know that we do have a new Superman animated series coming.
I'm so excited.
And this is all the artwork that they've really revealed. And then, of course, a picture of Jack from his current series, The Boys.
I know not everyone likes the art style of the new She-Ra, and that's fair. But I like the art style of the new She-Ra, and I like the new She-Ra. So if you like the new She-Ra, you probably will like this, and if you don't, you probably won't. Basically,
it reminds me. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of She-Ra and everything, but to me, it reminds me of the new Voltron, which is also on Netflix. So I think it's probably the same style,
right?
And I like the new Voltron. Now this is where it gets fun in the animated films.
Yes, lots of stars.
We have had a lot of animated films where they started, like we were talking about with Jason, the one-offs. Adam Baldwin, who did the very first DC Direct DVD, was Superman Doomsday, which was one of those that I saw it the first time and I was like, this is okay. And I've come to appreciate it more as time's gone on because I wanted so much more out of that film.
Right. That's fair.
And then excuse me, Mark Harmon, who did Crisis on Two Earths. And interesting story about Crisis on Two Earths is this was supposed to be a movie that was going to go from the Justice League animated series into Justice League Unlimited. They were going to do this movie. And for some reason, I don't remember why, it did not get made.
Huh.
They just went, and so they had this script. And now if you go back and you watch this film, you'll see in the who they have cast, like the characters and kind of the story, how that would kind of go there, because it has, the same Justice League members, and it's just interesting. I think Mark did a good job. I
think you got the wrong name on here.
Well, this one's Kyle. Like, go down one more. I think it kind of lagged. Yeah.
No, nope. Going down. I think the name, you threw this together really quickly and did a really good job, but Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah, this is Kyle MacLachlan. I guess, I don't know, maybe just something happened when I was making the slides. I apologize to Kyle MacLachlan, but he did Superman for DC New Frontier, which I love the look of that film. I think he did a good job of Superman. He has that time
So
period
good.
sounding voice. You know, that film is very much set in a certain time period. And I apologize that that slipped through when I was putting this together.
You
Sorry,
did
Kyle.
such a good job with this, though. Like that's why I still showed it because I didn't want. Also, I didn't want to overlook that because he's one of my favorite voices of Superman of the one-offs.
I agree. You know, it works very well for what he did. James Denton did All Star Superman. I would say he did well. He did okay. It's not one of my favorites. I haven't revisited the film recently because we are finishing up the review of the book this month on the podcast, and then next month we will be doing a film review with our friends from Last Son of Krypton podcast. So I didn't want to jump into that film, you know, again without having, you know, the proper.
And you and I have talked about how neither of us is very fond of this story, so that probably colored it a little.
Yeah, I mean, about, you know, people probably hate that, but I think there's parts I like in All Star, but it's not my favorite. You know, Mark Valley here, he did. I will say he did well as Superman. The voice that he brought for this project,
Right.
looking, it's the same thing with Peter Weller as Batman. When you look at it through the lens of like that, the 80s, you know, Peter Weller was RoboCop, and you have that older Bruce and what the Dark Knight Returns is. I think Mark Valley worked in complementing that mindset aesthetic to bring that
Right.
that to life. So now this is Matt Bomer here is another one of those people that did an amazing job as Superman in his voice, and he was actually up for the role in live action Superman several times and was
He would have been great.
passed over. And I feel like he, you know, missed his shot. He recently did he's Negative Man.
Yep.
On Doom Patrol, and didn't he do the Flash for
Yes.
the
JSA World War
II?
Yeah, World War II. Thank you.
Now this is one that I always thought was awesome, was that Sam Daly, son of Tim Daly, got to voice Superman. And there's a great on their YouTube, there's a great little video. It's called the League of Supermen or Club of Superman that has Tim Daly welcoming his son to the club.
I've seen that. It's so cute.
It's got Brendan Routh in it, and Dean Cain's in it from like a video screen. And that's just, it's kind of cool, you know, like this father-son.
Oh my gosh.
Connection.
I love that video. I forgot about that video too. You mentioned it, but I love it.
And then Alan Tudyk. You know, Alan Tudyk is an amazing talent. I think just period, he gets overlooked so much of all of his contributions to film and television, but his voice work is astounding. Currently, he's the Joker on the Harley Quinn series. But
I
yeah,
can see him doing
his Superman was good.
Yeah.
And then it's so interesting because Justice League War in general has a lot of people who did that film and then left after that one because Jerry O'Connell here comes in and takes over as Superman for the remainder of all the connected films.
He's so good. And then his wife, Rebecca Romaine, is Lois Lane. And that's just kind of a neat connection that you have an actual husband and wife.
And I love that because, you know, yesterday for Superman Day, one of the things that we did is we watched The Death and Return of Superman.
Nice.
And that is a great film. You know, I've talked about before how I hate how it always seems like the only Superman stories that matter are the deaths. But that film is just awesome. And I think having them as a husband wife doing Clark and Lois brings depth to it, as well as you had a husband and wife pair who voiced Ma and Pa Kent in the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoon series. It was Mike Farrell and his wife were Ma and Pa Kent. So that I like that. Now this one blows me away because, like, when I see Jason Isaacs, I think he's an amazing actor. First of all,
he's so good.
You know, Yes, thank you, Kristen. Thank you. I could not remember her name. I apologize. She was Ma Kent. Jason Isaacs blows me away because when I see him, I think of The Patriot, Harry Potter,
Yes.
Dragonheart, because that was one of my favorite movies as a kid. And then the fact that I think of him, this English, actor, and then that he does Russian Superman.
Right? Just incredible. Like, we could do an hour just talking about how amazing Jason Isaacs is. We could do an hour talking about how amazing a lot of these actors are, to be honest.
Yes. Now, Darren here is the newest actor to kind of pick up the voice of Superman.
Darren.
And, I know he was on Glee because I remember them talking about him being cast when he was going to be on The Flash. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he was on the episode of The Flash as the Music Meister, which felt more like a Mr. Piddleick.
Also kind of felt like a Glee reunion.
Yeah, it did. It did.
It was fun.
But I really like Superman Man of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Good. We recently rewatched that because Jania watched Justice Society World War II with us, and she had not seen Man of Tomorrow. So at the beginning of the film, where you see Flash running, and then all of a sudden there's Darren Criss as Superman from Man of Tomorrow, and I got super excited. She was like, "Why are you like this? Is a little. I know it's Superman, but calm down." So like, "Why are you so excited?" I was like, "No," I was like, "Because it proves my theory that they were gonna connect them." And she's like, "Connect what?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like you got to watch the other one."
Oh, the pitfalls of being married to a nerd. My husband could tell Junia stories like they could bond over that.
That'll be its own podcast, the Being Married to Nerd with Jania
and Thomas. Oh my gosh, he's still not over me spoiling who the Red Hood was when we watched that movie.
Oh man,
I didn't mean to. I forgot that people who don't read comics don't know who the Red Hood is. I'm not going to spoil it on air just in case anyone out there doesn't know.
Well, if my kids were here, they'd flat out tell you, because for some reason that's their favorite Robin.
He's so good. He's not my favorite Robin. He's my favorite Red Hood.
Right, exactly.
He's one of my favorite characters, like in general. Like I love him. But yes. Okay, so other voices. Real quick.
This one I kind of put together because a lot of these are like smaller things, and we were just running out of time. But
oh yeah, Channing Tatum. I forgot.
Christopher McDonald was he was on Batman Beyond as the older Superman because he also voiced Jor-El on Superman the Animated Series. I know Christopher McDonald mostly as Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. Oh, look, John's wife, she's going to be joining the new podcast that I'll be pitching to Jania here. And if she's watching, she's probably like,
yes, I want to listen to this podcast. My husband's like, he's busy with the kids too, so he doesn't even know he's been signed up for a podcast.
Yes.
It's going to be like, really?
Christopher McDonald was Goose in Grease too. I forgot that. Peter Jessup did The Adventures of the Justice League Trapped in Time, which is one of those animated films that came out at a weird time that was a direct-to-video that nobody knows exists. It's on HBO Max. The kids enjoyed it.
Is it good? That sounds good.
I watched it. It wasn't bad. I own it. Like I got it.
You just answered I watched it when I asked if it's good. So that's all I need to know.
I mean, I'll watch them all. I mean, if I own it, it has to be somewhat good. And then Yuri Lowenthal voiced the young Superman in /Superboy in the Legion of Superheroes TV series. Travis Willingham was on some of the Lego shorts. Matthew Mercer did the DC Superhero Friends. Finally, Nick Cage got his chance to be Superman in the Teen Titans Go to the movies, which that if I have to do Teen Titans Go, that's the one I go to because that one's hilarious and super meta.
I need to watch that.
Oh, I highly recommend that movie, and then the other movie they did, where it's Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. Channing Tatum, of course, did the Lego Movie, Lego Movie 2, and the Batman Lego Movie. Max Mittelhelm did the DC Superhero Girls, And James Walk currently did the voice for the Harley Quinn cartoon series. I think the only one that I missed, and it was in my notes, was the voice for the Crypto the Super Dog. So that's just a quick
Nice.
look at, the different voice actors and how much that this character has been prominent with, major talent. And I highly anyone who enjoyed this panel stick around for later this evening when Kelly and I will be talking to George Newber.
Yes, we're gonna. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. So let's do a little dance because that was a really lame dance. But okay, we made it. We made it. We made it. I'm so excited. Yeah, we made our goal. Our goal was $1,000 for the Actors Fund. We're over our goal. It's 1,020. If you feel moved to donate, please keep donating because that's not the maximum. Like, we're still accepting. Lauren says, oh my gosh, our comments just popped up on me now. Lauren says we forgot Jason Marsden.
Right, and I'm trying to think, when did young Clark Kent? Oh yeah, you're right, for Superman the Animated Series. Yep. I was trying to think
of Lauren.
I was trying to focus just on adult Superman. Yeah, you're right, because Jason is one of my favorite voice actors, and I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right, because that's young Clark Kent. But yeah, good call. Good bringing that up.
Thank you. Lauren has been excellent in our green room, and thank you, Carlin. All right, so I am just going to show off our thank you. I want to thank all the podcasts that have made this happen. And if you enjoy listening to Tyler, he has his Krypton Report podcast, which we may have to have an episode where I make my husband go on and complain about how annoying I am.
It'll be like a reverse. I'll have Jania. Like that'll be our backdoor pilot for our new podcast we're forming.
Yes, it's happening. My husband doesn't know, but it's happening. And I'm going to play our video about the Actors Fund. And then I see Diane and Clyde in the green room. So I'm going to bring them on after this. So hi, guys.
This convention is also a fundraiser for the Actors Fund. The Actors Fund fosters stability and resiliency and provides a safety net for performing arts and entertainment professionals over their lifespan. You can support the Actors Fund by following the link below and donating. Every donation also enters you into our sweepstakes and gives you a chance to win these fantastic prizes.